Christian fam.
Thank y'all for joining us on That Christian Fam. If growing in the faith is important to you, hit that subscribe button, because over here we like to encourage, empower, and give you everyday practical Christian advice on real life situations. We drop videos whenever we drop videos. So hit that notification bell, because for the first half hour when we drop videos, we respond to comments immediately. All right, y'all. Today we're going to talk about marital advice and who to look to when you're seeking marital advice. Who you should look to. All right. And who you should glean from. One thing I'm going to just tell you, and this is for free. One thing I'm going to tell you right off jump is that there is no such thing as the perfect marriage. There's no such thing as the perfect marriage. There's not. There's a lot of folk out there. Stop capping. There's a lot of folk out there capping, telling you stuff that really ain't the truth. I'll never forget. Me and my wife, we had recently got married. We talked to this one couple who was around our age, a little bit older, and they had kids. We ain't had no kids. They had kids. They had a lot of kids. They had like 4 of them. All right. I tried to confide in old dude. I was like, hey man, listen, me and my wife, we're not seeing eye to eye on this, that, and the other. I was like, how do you get over it, bruh? I'm just really trying to glean from this dude, right? This dude shot me a hot one. Started capping right off rip. He said, oh, me and my wife, we don't argue. No, we don't argue. We don't argue. Not at all. And when we have a disagreement, what we do is me and her, we just strip off and we just start making love. All right. Now, mind you, I told you they got 4 kids. So, wait a minute. We went from we don't argue to when we do argue, we strip off our clothes and we just start going at it. And I told you, they got 4, count them, 4 kids. All right, 4 kids. So that would lead me to believe that y'all do argue. You do argue. What me and my wife, we talked about at that point. We said, you know what? I don't believe that. We talked to an older couple. They were like, oh yeah, we argue. Oh, we argue. We do. And we love each other. But back to that younger couple that was around our age, a little bit older. They're like, yeah, we don't argue. And me and my wife, we were like, you know what? They argue. They had to. You know why? How they get them kids? All right. Now I'm being funny with that, but listen, you're always going to have some type of disagreement because you're not clones of each other, right? I'm not Nicole. Nicole is not me. All right. My wife, Nikki, I love her, but we have some differences. I'm from the South. My wife is from the Midwest, from the upper Midwest. And there are some ways that we were raised that were different. All right. And we're going to see things from a different perspective to a certain degree. All right. We are. So you're not clones of each other. You're going to have some disagreements. All right. But in this gentleman's situation, he said, oh, we don't argue. No. Okay. I see what you're doing. So basically, it's one person has to continuously win and one person has to continuously gracefully bow out. And so y'all don't argue. And that's a recipe for disaster. That is. If somebody gonna get tired of constantly being the person that gracefully bows out, all right, y'all gotta come to some type of compromise. Y'all gotta have some friction and work through that friction. Friction is not always a bad thing, as long as you work through it and not work to destroy each other. I'm gonna say it again. Friction is not a bad thing, as long as you work through it and not work to destroy each other within the friction. All right. So when you're seeking people for marital advice, and me and my wife are going to try to do a little bit more marital advice here on this channel. When you're seeking marital advice, don't seek out of those people who shoot you hot ones and say, oh, well, you know what? If you argue, you're in sin, or if you argue, there's something wrong. If you argue, they're not the one. We don't even believe in the one. But if you argue, they weren't meant for you. All this other stuff. No. You need to glean from someone who seemingly has some years under their belt in marriage, and someone who seems to be um, I don't want to say necessarily chasing after the Lord, but one who is diligently seeking the Lord. Seems to be, at least from the naked eye, they seem to be seeking the things or seeking the face of God. So yeah, so that's my little montage on this, y'all. This has been a dope live, y'all. I would continue to go with this live. However, there are certain things that I got to do. Now, I'm going to tell you some of the things we're going to discuss next week. We're going to discuss is purity culture wrong? We're going to discuss that. We're also going to discuss Larsa Pippen. The grass ain't always greener on the other side of the fence. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care.
That Christian thing.
Thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody on the other side of this video. And for all the trolls or anybody else, if you're offended, I really don't care.
That Christian thing.